Welcome to First Takes, where we talk and sometimes complain about filmmaking. Hope you enjoy the ride and don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. Well, some years ago, I just started to get more into Marvel and actually reading comics. I didn't read enough of Fantastic Four, but I started feeling why it felt super important for some people. It's not just that it's one of the first comics produced by what was then like the Marvel that is now, but also it had some things that were very interesting, like it's a family of four people. Well, they're not all related, of course, but everyone has its part in some intricacy behind it, even though it's super simple. So there's like the super reckless uncle, but then there's also the uncle that behaves like a mom. Then there's like the super intelligent dad that wants to like eat the world and eat all of its knowledge and tries to make everything better for his family. And a mother who is more of a leader than the father, actually, even though at that time there were some very high standards on what women and men should be. But yeah, Marvel's decline just bores anybody who just isn't patient enough, and I was just very tired of Marvel in general. I already said that I enjoyed Daredevil and New Avengers, but the rest of it just wasn't enough for me. And I felt that Superman was going to just overperform over this one, because I mean, it's Fantastic Four. We've already had two more films. Well, actually, three of them, but like two franchises were franchise attempts that didn't work out. And those films are super bad. I mean, I loved them when I was a kid, but yeah, they are just very, very bad. You just waste your time if you try to watch them. So look at this scenario. What happened if Superman and the Fantastic Four first steps were using almost the same formula to tell their story? Both stories don't need to tell anything. They just start rolling and make you like get invested on things that are happening very fast in order to make something even larger appear in the second act. So as in Superman, Fantastic Four just starts showing everything that has happened, how they became like the family, how they gained their powers, how they knew each other, how much they've impacted their world, that it's amazing. It's super cool seeing Reed Richards controlling everything, like even the police. But in this case, the Fantastic Four First Steps uses something more of like a TV station or like a radio station explaining everything what was happening with these characters, and just makes everything super clear in very short time. And it does super well in this because you get invested on them quite fast. After 20 or 30 minutes, basically the first act, you already know them, you know who they are, what are their roles on their team and their family, and what to expect. And yes, of course, it uses vintage vibes to make everything be more selling. But in this case, it's even more impactful because everything feels like a pocket universe of the Fantastic Four. They are the highlight, they are the heroes, they are the politicians, they are like everything the humanity needs. And they are part of the vintage vibes. I mean, everyone breathes their culture. They breathe as if just time stopped when the Fantastic Four appeared. I don't know if this is accurate, but around the same time when the comics appeared. But with, of course, more technology. Done by whom? Of course, Reed Richards. He's the super genius here. And this does show that you can show intelligence in a smart way. You don't need to show that the person knows a lot of algorithms or builds a lot of things. He only has one robot, but he's super smart in the film, and it just shows by how Pedro Pascal interprets a character. And I applaud his work. I mean, he did amazing. Because Pedro Pascal doesn't have that type of vibe of someone super intelligent that has control over everything, but doesn't know how to interact with people or even his family or his wife. But he does excel in the character. Even the tone, I mean, he softens the parts in which needs to be softened, and it highlights when he just needs to be calm and super serene, just thinking about what he's going to do next. Not something that, let's say, Joel would do in that situation. In the film, even though it had a lot of like gags, of course, because the Thing and Human Torch are always like making jokes at each other, and there are funny moments of Reed Richards just being super uncomfortable around people, and Sue just trying to make him behave. This tone is different. It's not Marvel, it's something more serious, something more intricate. Like if they know that the audience needs more and it's quality product. So how they make everything feel connected? They use the same type of newspaper articles or radio stations as if it was just Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man 2 from Sam Raimi. That was amazing. That was like just something very sweet from them. Like they know that we do care about those films and they took advantage of that in a good way. And the plot is simple. Of course it is. There's no way of making it super difficult or elaborate. Galactus is coming to Earth. He will eat everything. He will destroy the world. And they are trying to avoid that. And they go to space. They find the Silver Surfer of this universe. They need to make a sacrifice. They don't want to make it. Actually, I'm surprised that they showed that in trailers. But yeah, well, anyways. And they don't want to make the sacrifice. And just that situation makes everything super hard for them and for the audience, because you do care about the family. It's been just a short time, but there's more development that other superheroes that have appeared more than half an hour in other series or shows or films. And they end up screwed because there's no way of defeating like a force that tries to eat and destroy everything. Galactus is unstoppable as he's supposed to be, even though it has some issues. Like the character is boring, of course. He's just like a machine or something that tries to eat and devour. But you know what? I applaud the effort because they did it well. The rhythm was good. The timing of the film didn't need to be super fast. They did it in very short time. And the ending was satisfying. Of course, no one was dying. It's a Fantastic Four. They're not going to kill one of them just with one film, when we all know that the four of them are going to appear in Avengers Doomsday. So, but they did an effort and they showed the importance of Franklin Richards, probably the most powerful superhero, if we can call him a superhero, in Marvel, in a very subtle way. And I think I already know where they're going. I'll talk about it later, but okay, let's go straight to the point with the plot. So Sue Storm dies, saving Franklin, but he ends up reviving her, of course. But yeah, they did everything with very good special effects, except the baby. I have to admit, it's very weird, and I was feeling uncomfortable with it because I saw it on IMAX, and it looks super, super weird. But that's almost the only thing that appears weird in the film. Reed Richards being like Mr. Fantastic appeared kind of well. Human Torch looked amazing in the way that they showed it, like more realistic, actually showing the character behind it, just like a bunch of flames bursting. And Ben Grimm, oh my god, I don't know if it was like a mix of special effects and practical effects, but it looked super cool. Like he looked kind of dangerous. I mean, he was bearded for like 15 minutes of the film, but he also looked sweet, and I've always felt that the Thing is actually like a sweet thing or human. There needed to be something that made him soft, because just showing like a bunch of rocks with like few, like just two blue eyes, it's not enough in my case. I've always felt that he is like the sweet guy. And I already said it before, but the film doesn't feel like Marvel at all. Maybe like a newcomer director or screenwriter who is trying to revive Marvel after, I don't know, 50 years. I'm guessing that Kevin Feige just like spent all of his working time planning this film, and it showed, because the film is very well elaborate. There are some script issues, but I feel it's just like the naturality of the story. As I said, like the War of Worlds, basically destroying everything and people trying to stop it. But aside from that, it feels great, and the characters, like each character, each actor made everything worth it. And thankfully, nothing was spoiled. And everyone shines. I loved seeing Sue Storm being like the political figure of the Fantastic Four, being the wise woman that she's supposed to be, and Johnny being, well, not the smartest person, but he is smart still. Maybe like street smarts, or maybe like just being someone that has a heart. He's not just like an idiot as he was shown before on the other films. He has a heart and he cares about everyone. Reed being a nerd, of course, being like the teachers, like showing like experiments on TV. That was awesome. Like, it impresses me that this world was being very bold, because this is a group of 4 people who have superpowers, not like the most like amazing superpowers as probably other heroes, but what they are good at is at just being smart and prepared and knowing everything and understanding how to react. And that's like a different type of superhero, like a very planned way. Of course, like fantastic in the sense of not feeling real, but since everything around it was done very well and very elaborate, it feels natural and like honest, like truthful. No Doctor Doom, just like the cape. We can say that even Robert Downey Jr. didn't appear. He could have been just an extra, and I love it because we didn't need him. We just needed like a small hint about Latveria not being present in Sue Storm's audiences, because yeah, this film is political, not in the Superman style, but it's very simple. I feel that the difference between the 2 films in general could be that this film just tries to be simple but intricate at the same time, and it makes everything proportionate. Like, there's investment, there's action, there's good CGI, there's some philosophy behind it, although it kind of gets lost at the end. I mean, it's a Marvel film, but it's not the problem of being a Marvel film what hinders everything. It's just that, again, I'll say it for the 3rd time, it's Galactus. There's no way of fixing this story or like the plot. It's what it was supposed to happen. And I realized that having Galactus as the like ultimate bad guy at the end of all of the films, it's not a good idea because there's no deepness behind him. I mean, Keanu Reeves could just waste his time and earn a lot of money, of course, being Galactus, as a lot of people wanted to like theorize and say that it was going to happen. And thankfully they did Silver Surfer well. I mean, a lot of people criticize that she's not a man. I don't care, like, she does make sense like in this universe, and if they just want to change her in the future, it's fine, but I think there's already investment there, and I hope that she can still be Silver Surfer. I love the character, but it's just like an aesthetic thing, as a lot of people may also like do or feel with the character, so it's good. And now, thanks to this film, we are in a scenario that we didn't plan. We have expectation for DC, for Marvel, and for some reason there are no good films this year aside from those. So yeah, we're repeating history. Maybe we're in a cycle, and superheroes will be very famous again, and they will outsell everything, and they will outperform everybody else. And I'll be here for it if they can continue the quality they're having. And let's hope there's just enough competition in other types of genres and films, so it can make things interesting this time for theaters and movies. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you around.